Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for staying after service and being part of our annual members meeting. This is such an important time of the year when we come together as a community and reflect on the past year, celebrate our growth, and look forward to what's ahead. Before we officially begin, we have confirmed that we have the quorum, and so we can proceed. So I now call this meeting to order at 12:07 p.m. And I'd like to invite Paula Peterson up to lead us in an opening invocation. Thank you, Paula.
You can probably hear me. Oh, okay. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath with me. Bringing it in and then exhale. Let's take another nice deep breath. Bringing in the awareness of the presence of the light of God and the love of God. And let that awareness fill you. And as you keep on taking those nice breaths, let the awareness and the light of God fill every cell. And as I claim for each one of us that we are the light of God, we are the love of God. And as I breathe in the wonder of that, I claim for each one of us during this sacred time and this sacred meeting, I claim for each one of us clarity and consciousness and community and gratitude. That this meeting is filled with all of those things and more. And I claim for myself and for everyone here too, I claim gratitude towards all of the people, the board members that have made this happen, that have helped this last year be as wildly successful and wonderful. The growth that is happening here and the love that happens every Sunday. I see it in every single person here. So as we let ourselves be filled with gratitude for this meeting, I release it into the law that always says, yes, my beloved, yes. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Paula, for centering our hearts and minds as we begin. First, I'd like to take a moment to introduce and acknowledge our current Board of Trustees. Our current president is Jamaica Wallace, who is not present here today. Me, Wendy Orsott, is the vice president. And then we have Shirley Bayette, who is the treasurer, and Roxanne Zirkle, who is not present, is the secretary. And then we have Kaylin Grant, Lori Levine, and Nedra Heller as members at large. And I just wanted to really thank each one of you all for your service and dedication to this community. Of course, Reverend Steve is also part of the board as the acting minister too. And I really just want to take a moment to honor, recognize, and thank the outgoing board members for their incredible contributions of leadership and commitment. It's really been such a blessing to this community. So Jamaica Wallace and Roxanne Zirkle will not continue on the board. Please give them a round of applause for their continued service. And now I'm proud to introduce our new board prospects. We have Janet Murray. Please come up onto the stage. We have a chair for you. Angie Sokol, please come up on stage. We have a chair for you. And Dave Shadrick, you can come as close as you'd like, or if you can make it up on stage, we'd love to have you. We have a chair for you up here. Each of them has previously shared their heartfelt intention to serve, and we're going to give them another chance now. We're so grateful for their willingness to step forward into this important role. I'm going to let Angie go first because she's ready. Welcome, Angie Sokol.
Hi, I'm Angie Sokol, and I have been a member for a long time, since 2007. And this was a bit. I heard that I have the most prayer requests of any person. And the reason I went into the board is because I'm grateful for all the prayer power that I have received from family members and for me. I want to say that I attended the last board meeting. Can you hear me? Oh, good. Thank you. I attended the last board meeting, and I was very impressed with everybody. They got along well. I've been on boards where there were almost 50 cups, and I was very happy to see that. Reverend Steve's handout was very professional, and the vice president did an excellent job, especially focusing the group back to the guidelines. I am a stickler for rules and regulations, so that is something I would bring to the board. I don't wish to be an officer because in my professional life I had to be an officer or on boards for many, many years, and also locally for the American Association of University Women for 17 years. So I am willing to help with projects, and I have special capabilities of helping with fundraising. I also like to cook and bring food for you. I hope you like the casserole. Anyway, I came here, I met my husband Ned, by the way, who has been for over a year skiing up in heaven. And we married in 1991. I met him in Sacramento, came here, and totally remodeled a log home on 8 acres on Murphy Creek, which meant no kitchen for 5 months. There were 3 times in my life since I've been in Oregon that I've had no kitchen and had to tear out a kitchen. You can imagine how stressful that would be not to have a kitchen. We were raising our grandson Mike after I retired from a government agency called CPSHR, where we did police, fire, medical licensing. Okay. And anyway, we were happy to come here. I was a master gardener, which I've given up so that I can apply for your information, for your board. Just looking through my notes here. Anyway, I've been happy to do things for you, such as helping with the set up the spiritual gardeners. I've also done a lot of help in the kitchen. I started the Kitchen Angels, and I have done a lot of things over the years and have enjoyed, as I said, being the star person to have so many prayer requests. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Okay, we're going to let Janet Murray come up and say her intention. Thank you, Janet.
Good afternoon. So I spoke last week. Probably most of you heard what I had to say. I have a lot of experience here at Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I had been on the board before. I have served on a number of boards in my young lifetime, and I look forward to serving again on the board. And I was instrumental on the committee that finally got Reverend Steve here for us to keep the center going, and it was flawless. And we wound up with Reverend Steve 15 years ago now? 9 years ago now. So anyway, it's me. I also do not want to be an officer because I have too much on my plate now. but I will certainly be a member at large and do all that I can to for this center that I love. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. Now I'm going to introduce Dave Shadrick. Here you go, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is David Shadrick, and I'm really happy to be on the board. I've wanted to interfere and cause trouble ever since I joined this church. And I think what I bring to the board is just I'm really involved in this church. I'm one of the people. I'm a pit, and I'm very serious about what I do here. And I really think this group knows how to manifest. So I'm going to look forward to that. I do have extensive experience with boards, but from the other side. I also was the probation officer's community service coordinator. And so I contacted just about every nonprofit and talked to them because we would send probationers out to help them, like the community theater and the YMCA and things like that. So I dealt with their boards, presenting things. I was a CASA. I don't know if anyone knows what a CASA is. It's a guardian ad litem. I did that for 3 years. I was a mentor. I have done all kinds of charitable work. I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what else before I ramble forever. I think that I've pretty much covered what I wanted to cover, and again, I look really forward to working with this group. I think it's going to be the most exciting people in church.
Yay, thank you, Dave. We're really happy to have your energy on the board. Okay, so because the number of positions that are available on the board is more than the prospective people who want to come onto the board, so we have more positions open than we have prospects. There will not be an actual vote, a competitive vote. Instead, we approve them by acclamation. So if there's anybody who is opposed to these 3 people coming onto the board, this is your time to speak now, because we work on a consensus, which means everybody agrees. Is there anybody who's opposed to Dave, Janet, or Angie coming onto the board? Awesome. Woo! Okay. So according to our bylaws, the nominees are elected by acclamation. They're officially approved to join the board without a vote. Please join me in welcoming our new board members. And as we sit now, this is your new board for the next 3 years. The officer positions are only held for a year. Every year we'll renominate, and that will be held, we'll be taking care of that business after this meeting. So now we're going to go ahead and move into the annual financial reports. And I just want to provide you with an overview of the financials from the past year. As a nonprofit, our year goes from July to June. So we just recently started our new year, so we're 3 months into it. And last year's budget was $84,000 for operating expenses. And at the end of the year, our operating expenses were $84,030. So we really did very well in estimating what our operating costs would be. And in that, our profit was actually at $93,300 and some change. So we brought in more, and that was because we put a new roof on our sanctuary. So we brought actually in more than this even reflects, because that would show $13,000 more than our budget, or $9,000 more than our budget, and the roof cost $20,000. So as a center, as a community, we did really, really good with our financials this past year, with putting a roof on, having extra money, and I just feel so amazing by that when I got that report. So moving forward, we have upped a couple line items just because things get more expensive to run, costs go up. So this year's budget is going to be $88,000. And I love numbers, if you know me, 88. It's not really a master, but 8's all about abundance and power. So it's infinity on its side, and it's, so I just think that's a great number for us moving forward into balanced abundance. We are going to work on putting a roof on the LEC this year, and this just covers basic operating costs. So that cost will be all from additional fundraising. So that's not reflected in the budget. And at any time, you guys can look at our financials. They're posted in the business center's business area over there by where you start to get your food. And the minutes from the meetings are up there, and any of the center's business gets posted up there in a timely fashion. The other thing about our financials is we do have an investment. So we've invested $25,000 into the stock market, and it has been matched by the home office. So there's actually $50,000 of an investment for us, and it's called our endowment. And our quarter ending March 31st report is that we're down by $1,515, $1,515. And if you know the stock market, it's up and down all the time. So I just wanted to report to you right now that that's where we're at. And at the end of the year with this, if we do have an over amount than our base amount, they give us an option to take that. And we did take that last year to put towards the roof going up. So we get we can choose to reinvest it or get it dispersed to us. So we did take the disbursement last year. They give us that option in December because they run in the calendar year. Does anybody have any questions about the financials? Yes. Right now, I believe there's a good couple $1,000s towards the LEC already. I'll have to double check with the current financial reports. The accountant usually provides us reports monthly, but they're like the month behind, so I have to do a little figuring to get us the actual amount. So I can present that to us coming up here, because that's great to keep track of. We were keeping track of it for this roof in the office, so I'll start doing that. I'll keep almost like a tally, so we can have an updated amount of that all the time. Any other questions about the financials? All right, I'm going to now turn the floor over to Reverend Steve for the minister's report, which includes updates on the affairs of the center and our shared vision. Thank you, Reverend Steve.
Absolutely, thank you. Well, here we are, another year. Look at all these smiley faces. This is great. So, it's been a year, hasn't it? Every Sunday we put on 2 different performances. One is live that happens in this room, 52 weeks a year. And we do this thing called Zoom, which we're on right now, which means that we have a production in this room, and we have a production that's going out to various places and people in the universe. And it's a task. We have recently hired Daniel, who you see sitting back there. He's not there right now. But he has given us great insight into how to do Zoom better and do the sound, and the audio, video part has been upgraded quite a bit. If you were watching a couple of years ago, it was difficult to even watch the service. So we have upgraded that. Our ongoing events include the book study that happens every Sunday morning from 9 to 9:45 in the LEC. It's been going on for several years. And after that, there's a meditation that happens, facilitated by our practitioner team from 9:50 to 10:05. And that's also been going on for several years. So, what did we do this year? I'm not going to highlight everything. I mean, if I went through week by week, which I did, and I pulled out some of the... If your thing doesn't get mentioned, I'm sorry. But most things are going to be mentioned here. Our spiritual gardeners are perpetually here doing something. And I'm just amazed at how these grounds are just flourishing with beauty and love and enrichment. And we thank our spiritual gardeners. Let's hear it for them. Because it's just a few people. There's not like 17 people that come and do our grounds. There's like 4 or 5 people that do this. So we're very grateful to have them and that they continue to take care of that. I, every week, help get the cans to the street. I'm here almost every day, walking the grounds, making sure that, we've had several people that have camped out here that I've had to remove over the last year. It's just what happens in the area. And there's been certain gifts left to us on the property that I'm sure the spiritual gardeners know about. But it's just what we do. This is your spiritual home. Somebody is here every day taking care of it. And it's good for you to know that while you're off living your life, somebody's taking care of your spiritual home. And that's what this board is all about. So back in 2024, remember that? 2024? Janice Garibay taught a self-mastery class. And there was a memorial service on October 13th, 2024 for Ned, that Angie did such a wonderful job with. And Deborah Perdue is on the International Practitioner Corps. We're very blessed to have somebody who is got their finger on the pulse of the Home Office Practitioner Corps. Are you like president of the group? Secretary of the group. So we're very blessed. I'm going to get into Deborah Perdue's little resume here for a second, because I kind of broke her out of the calendar because she does so much. Ladder to Light was a 7-week experience in the fall. Living with Joy is a 7-week experience this spring. Unfolding Divinity, using this thing called Juice, started September 18th. This is very successful. And held Grooving into Gratitude groups that meets once a month all year long. Also, 3 people joined Living with Joy because they got the flyer from the ELF Enlightened Living Fair that we are part of. And that was canceled this October. So there is no ELF because of something in the facilitator's family. No, that's not happening. But we did do the ELF Fair last year. It was in October, and we gave away about 40 welcome packets. I see that as really good exposure for our center. We have been part of this community for over 55 years. And we just recently started going to the Enlightened Living Fair. I think we should have been there for years. I didn't even know it was happening until just a few years ago, and I got us in there. We had Tai Chi classes last year. Sanju, a friend of mine, taught Tai Chi, and that was over in the LEC. And due to limited attendance, it was canceled. On November 17th, I was out of town, and Deborah Perdue was our guest speaker that day. And we, on the 27th, we did a memorial service for someone named Diamond here in the center. You probably didn't even know about it. They're from a different group, but they gave a nice donation to our center for having their group here. Our holiday party was Friday, December 13th, and we had a wonderful experience. And this year, it's coming up. It's going to be, I think, the 12th. Is that right? Is that right? I have it listed somewhere. I'll get to that. In January, Janice Garibay taught Essential Ernest Holmes. And in January, our AA group started. So we're going to be celebrating a year with them. They do a Sunday at 6 p.m. Group that meets. It's a closed meeting of people who are AA members. Let's see. February 22nd, Pathways to the Soul was an 8-week transformative journey using soul collage cards. Samantha? Where's Samantha? Is she here? No? Samantha was here. And Jamaica Wallace did that. And in March, we had the sanctuary. Excuse me. The sanctuary was re-roofed in March, I think, last year. So that was a $20,000 expense that we got to handle. And thank you to everyone that contributed to that. And we had a guest speaker, Jamaica Wallace, was on March 2nd. The Enlightened Living Fair was March 8th. I taught the foundational class last March, Grooving into Gratitude Circles. We had a new member orientation in April. In May, we had a new member celebration. We celebrated Mother's Day with a movie about the divine feminine, creatrix wise women. And we had a special celebration of music on May 25th where all of our musicians performed. That was a real special treat for us. June 21st was our annual fun fair. Yay! It rained, but the band still played. Yay! And it wasn't the turnout that we wanted, but we still had the bouncy house. And, you know, it was the one day this summer that it rained. And, of course, that's just how it happens sometimes. So July 20th through the 26th, I was at Silomar in Pacific Grove. I was one of the facilitators there, and next year I am having a much bigger footprint on the Silomar conference. I've been asked to assist with facilitating again. So I'm actually going to be running the registration for Silomar next year. And we had guest speaker, Reverend Stephanie Clark, on July 20th. And August 25th, or August 2025, the front door and the back benches were painted by me. Yay! Saved us $2,000. We got a quote on somebody painting the back benches and the front door, and they wanted $2,000, and I said, no. I can do this for less. So the front door and the benches have been painted. August 17th was the transition of our lovely friend Guy Young, who made his transition. He was on the board for 3 years previous to this last year. I want to thank him for his service to our center. He's been a member here for before I was even here. So thank you. In September, I fixed the front doorway. You may not even know it. If you look, as you come in the very front door, there's tiles that were there, and they had all broken off. So I took them all off, cleaned it up, and retiled it, and re-grouted it, and put a new mat there so nobody trips coming in. So that's what happened last year. So upcoming events, what do we have planned? Well, there's an advanced consciousness study class that starts October 15th for those that have taken the prerequisites of the 2 years of classes that it takes to get in. And this is going to be part of our new practitioner team going forward. We have a Halloween party for October 24th, and the Full Moon Project band will play. Yay! And we have had already a generous donation of someone covering half of the band's payment for that event. So it can be another fundraiser for the LEC roof. And our holiday party, yes, it's December 12th. And I will be teaching foundations sometime starting in either January or February, depending on the desire for the class. If people want to wait until later because it's winter and stuff. But that's what we have going on for next year. And there's all sorts of other classes that have not been established yet. But we're a teaching center. We have constant classes going on. There's not a week that there's not some sort of class happening. Now, traditionally, our summers are a little lighter because people go on vacation. It's hot out. We don't have a lot of activity. But we're moving into fall. Classes are starting up again. So, all right, it's time for Q&A. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, hold on. We have a board member comment. Yes. We did karaoke. And like I said in the introduction, there are going to be some things that I do not, did not put on my list here. But karaoke was one of them. We raised $700, and that was a wonderful event. Yes, Deborah Purdue. Yeah, Jamaica has gotten a new job in Ashland. And so she's moving to Ashland, and she can no longer fulfill her duties here at the center, and we thank her for her generous service to us. She did many years of service, and we miss her dearly. But, you know, people come in and they have a healing and they move on. Some of us have a healing and stay. But we know that everyone moves, and we bless everyone who has come and been of service and moved forward. And she is still a member here, and she's a virtual member. I think she's even on Zoom right now. Right, Jamaica? And this is being recorded, so any members that missed the meeting can watch it on Zoom later. So thank you, Deborah. Any other questions? Okay. Wow, that's great. Yes. Yes. You know, it depends on contributions when it can happen. We're going to use the same roofer that did this one. It's going to be about 10,000, 13,000. Yeah, the last quote, it may go up because things have gone up. So we don't know right now because we're not at a place where we can get that estimate. We have to have more contributions set aside to even start that process. But that's our next goal, is to re-roof the LEC. And we just don't know how long. It may take us a year to fundraise for that. We don't know. So that's our plan, is to continue to do fundraisers, collect money, and move forward. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for being members and contributing to our center. You know, so it's an interesting time economically, and we just want to thank you for continuing to give on a regular basis so that we can keep this beautiful metaphysics in Grants Pass going. It's because of we are 100% operated by your contributions. If you don't give, we don't have a center. So thank you. You know, so many people gave so that we could have this facility. And now ours is to keep it up. That's why we're always doing improvements. After we re-roof, we're going to have to repaint. There's just always something to do with an old home. But you know what? It's got good bones. You know, it's a good, people walk in here and they feel it, because this is a beautiful spiritual home we have. So we get to keep it going. So any other comments or anything from the board? So directly after this meeting, we're going to powwow right here and have our first board meeting. And again, I want to thank you all for coming and being part of this. And now I will do a benediction so that we can move forward and you can get on with your day. So let's just take a moment and remember who we are. I know that the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living is a divine idea in the mind of Source, God, Goddess, Energy. And its time has come. And here we are. So grateful for the provision that has been made for this center to be in our lives. How grateful we are to have a spiritual home that we love and that we support so greatly. We have a place to come and to speak to like-minded people, to move forward through our challenges and share our triumphs. We are a spiritual home. And we take full advantage of our spiritual home by supporting it, by loving it, by giving of our time, our treasure, and our talent. That this place may be here for the next generation of metaphysicians that choose to remember who they are. And because of that, each one of us is blessed as part of a legacy of forward-moving consciousness. So we take great pride in our center, in this spiritual home. We give great thanks for it. And we let go, knowing something wonderful is happening. We are so grateful as we affirm it together by saying, so it is. Amen. Well, that concludes our meeting for this year. Thank you again for everyone coming and being part of your center. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Blessings.